So Sean, somehow between the caves and up here, we magically have wine glasses in our hands, and there's a slight Pinot residue in mine. I don't know about yours, but
yeah, yours is empty. We need to put some wine in there.
Movie magic at its best. Before we do that, though, I wanted to just comment on. I may have to sit down because my breath. I mean, this view is ridiculous. Like seriously, I don't know if you guys are getting this, but this incredible view. I mean, what are we looking at? Is that the Willamette Valley down there? Or
that is the Willamette Valley, all the way up to the mountains there. As far south as Eugene and as far north as Portland.
So that's east.
Mm-hmm, this is east.
And then the ocean, I actually feel a breeze. Is that the ocean breeze coming we're feeling?
That's correct.
What an incredible, I guess if you're having a rough day at work, which I can't imagine having working in the winery, but if you're having a rough day, you can come out here and take a deep breath and feel all right about things, huh?
Absolutely.
And obviously we have the grapes right in front of us. We're just all Pinot, obviously. You were saying this is a test?
This is a test portion of our vineyards. Each row represents a different clone that we feature here in the vineyards.
Okay.
Some of the clones are better known for their aromatics, like Pommard and Wadenswil.
Sure.
And then we also have the Dijon clones, which have numbers, like 115, 777, 667. They all are best known for their flavors.
Okay. And I'll have the camera grab a shot of this, but as I was walking along the rows here, I noticed all of a sudden out of nowhere, white grapes on one shoot there. What happened?
Well, sometimes from the nurseries that produce the vines, you'll get an odd vine that ends up in your 1,000 vines that you ordered of Wadenswil, for example, and one of those vines ends up being Pinot Blanc, for example.
I've always considered myself kind of an odd vine, so I can relate. Pretty cool and great looking fruit. And what do I already have in my glass? What should be our first wine?
Well, we're sampling the Arcus Estate right now. This is one of our oldest single vineyard sites that we have in the area, one of our largest as well, elements of which were planted back in 1973.
Wow.
That being said, older vines produce less fruit but more concentrated fruit. And that site is about 2 miles north of here.
Okay. Yeah, right now, I mean, I didn't even get the glass up to my nose, and really intense, deep sort of blueberry with like a candied kind of a nose, and something sort of sweet and spicy underneath.
Certainly.
Wow, it's gorgeous. I could just smell this wine. But I guess I'll have to have a taste too.
It's one of our most giving wines, I think, in the whole lineup. Every time you smell it, every time you taste it, you're going to get something slightly different from the previous taste. And in that sense, it's incredibly complex.
Yeah, it's just really nice. It's nice fruit, just blueberries, blackberries, nice finish.
Can thank Lee Bartholomew for being in charge of the wonderful vines out here. She's our vineyard manager and responsible.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you very much.
And then, of course, Anna is our winemaker, and she's responsible for turning those grapes into the wonderful wine in your glass there.
God bless her. All right, so what's next?
Well, we can go on to the Looney Vineyards next. That's our 2007 vintage.
Looney Vineyards?
Looney Vineyards.
Okay.
Named after Ed and Darlene Looney, the folks that we're actually leasing that site from up in the Ribbon Ridge, which is another viticultural area here in the Dundee Hill, or here in the Willamette Valley. This is the Dundee Hills right here.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Let's check that out. So Looney Vineyards.
All right.
I'm going to do the pouring.
Please do. Help yourself.
Can I pour some for you? Oh,
sure. Well, let me water the vineyards.
Hey.
Hey, gotta bless the vineyards, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a Sunday. It's a little benediction.
Looney Vineyards. Is it just me, or do I notice a little bit less of a purple and maybe more of a lighter shade in this wine from our previous one?
Well, they're different vintages, so you do get some different colors from that. Usually a younger vintage provides you with darker colors.
And this is, tell us a little bit about the Looney property. Where's that from here?
Well, this is the Dundee Hills viticultural area right here, featured by the red soils you see here. That's a Jory loam, so it's a more volcanic site in terms of its soils. The Ribbon Ridge is where the Looney Vineyards are, and that's 6 miles north of here.
Okay.
It's a completely different soil type up there, so that's how we differentiate our AVAs here, or our American viticultural areas, from each other. So volcanic site here in the Dundee Hills, that site up at the Ribbon Ridge is a marine sedimentary soil.
Oh, wow.
And that's former seabed, essentially.
But it's higher up than we are here?
It's comparable elevation.
Okay.
We're at about 300 to 400 feet right here. As you head up north, it's a slightly higher elevation, but still within 400 to 500 feet in elevation.
The fruit's a little bit less intense on the nose.
A lot of orange blossom there on the nose.
Yeah, it's definitely a sort of floral.
A lot more black fruit centered as well, a lot more blackberry, black cherry notes.
It's really, it's a very different wine. Grown 6 miles away, and completely different characteristics. Like you said, more black fruit. The finish has almost got sort of
You think cedar notes, perhaps?
yeah, there's something woodsy or something in there at the very end that kind of just sort of tails off. Really nice. Wow.
Yeah, incredible wine, definitely. A little bit of mint, maybe even a little bit of anise.
Yeah, it's just so markedly different than what we had in the last one.
That's the beauty about Pinot Noir. From every site, it's incredibly different from one location to the next.
Okay, I'm gonna bless the vineyard too.
I'll do the same.
I don't know if you're hearing off in the distance. It sounds like somebody's shooting a rifle, but you were saying that's actually a method of scaring away the birds so they don't actually feed on the grapes.
Exactly. It's a propane cannon. The birds this time of year love the fruit. It's very sweet. They love to eat it, so we have to scare them off.
Hey, I don't blame them. After tasting this wine, I'd be right there with them.
All right. So this wine we're going to serve now is the Archery Summit Estate 2006.
Okay. Archery Summit Estate, is that the property
That is
around
this
now?
vineyard right here. So the
Okay.
grapes that you see, the vines that you see, would have provided the fruit for this 3 years ago.
3 years ago, okay.
3 years ago.
And again, I feel like this is even a lighter color. Very vibrant, but it's a little bit lighter.
Certainly. The 2006 vintage was a lighter vintage for Oregon, and consequently you get less tannins, less pigments, less acids.
Lighter because...
Of the growing season.
Okay.
Every season is unique, and no
Sure.
two are alike. You get some similarities certainly between certain vintages, but some vintages are lighter than others.
This nose is sweet and spicy.
Absolutely. When this wine fully opens up, I get notes of cola. I get some Earl Grey notes. I also get some roasted red pear, a little bit of mint and anise again.
Roasted red pear.
Yes.
I like that.
And somewhat of a cedar finish again to the wine. This wine is aged for...
We went from something that was sort of a blueberry, then to like the dark fruit. Now we're somewhere lighter again.
This wine was aged for 18 months in the oak barrels, and 80% New French oak.
Yeah, you can taste the oak, and it's a nice thing though. It's not overpowering. It's not, you know, there to manipulate or hide the flaw in the fruit. It just complements it perfectly.
It's always the one wine we produce with every vintage to last the longest in our cellars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could open this up 5 years from now, 8 years from now, and still be, it would be a different wine, but it'd still be great.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Okay. We bless the vineyard once again.
Again. All right.
The little creatures that are strolling through this little patch are going to be happy tonight. I'll tell you that.